Hi guys, it's Rich from Pitlanes.com, and today I'm going to show you the Apex Modding FI GT3 mod because it's just been updated to version 0.88, and now, as well as the AMG GT3 Mercedes, it now involves the Porsche GT3 799R, sorry, and also the Corvette Z06 there. So all I'm going to do is take them for a spin and see what I think. If I can get the car I want first, which is the Mercedes, and then I'm going to take them out around Virtual LM's version 2 of Mid-Ohio, because that's released not long ago as well. So this is going to be a first impressions video, just testing them out to see what it's like. I am a fan of the sounds in this. I do think it sounds super cool. In my defence for my driving as well, I'm driving with single screens and an odd FOV just for your guys's viewing pleasure, because my default field of view isn't conducive to recording really, and I've had plenty of people say that, so I do like the sounds of this. It sounds beastly, I think. So I'm going to say right from the get-go, from what I understand, this SLS was built scratch for rFactor 2, and I read in the changelog that the new Porsche and Corvette are actually conversions from Apex Modding rFactor 1. Now, what I'm about to say is probably controversial, but I don't really care. While I thank them for the hard work, and I haven't driven them, so later in this video I may well eat my words, but while I appreciate effort and genuinely thank you for bringing more mods to rFactor 2, I do wish modding communities would start afresh, because within the changelog it says that the detail on the model isn't as high and things like that in the Corvette and the Porsche. And obviously I haven't seen them yet, so I can't really judge just yet, but it's just like, people give rFactor 2 a bad rep already, sort of thing. Give rFactor 2 a bad time already, a hard time already, and bringing out converted content of what they're already admitting is lower standard is a bit, I don't know, it's maybe damaging. But hey ho, I can't really complain too much because I'm not making it, am I? So that's why I am thanking them for bringing it in. I haven't done anything with setup. You've seen literally what I've done thus far. I really like this circuit. A couple of the elevation changes seem a bit odd, or off, sorry, and this is just, I've obviously never been to Mid-Ohio, but this is just coming from iRacing, which I think allows you to make a fair judgment with it being laser scanned and such. But it's definitely good enough that you'd forget that.
27.98.
Pay no mind to my lap times. So the car feels good. I'd need to tinker with the brake bias a bit, because coming around the complex towards the end of the lap, I'm snatching a front brake, and also There's a bit of oversteer that I'd like to dial out, but other than that, I really love the helicopter there that flies around. I don't... Oh, lucky save. Pro tip, don't look at helicopters when you're driving. See, just a little bit of oversteer, but to me that feels set up, workable. But I really like the interior of this. I feel they've done a really solid job on this car, for sure. Feels great to me. And I'm a massive Mercedes fan, so that kind of helps.
7.81.
Then next we're going to try out the Porsche. Now they've admitted that something's awry with the Porsche camber settings, and that they also want new sound samples for the Corvette. So we'll see what they sound like when I actually get into that. I'm really glad actually that my URD series is coming to Mid-Ohio, because this track genuinely feels so good on this. To me, it's definitely one of the better tracks available for rFactor 2 at the moment. Right, let's go and get into the
That was a
Porsche.
128.66.
And here we are in the Porsche 799 GT3. I hope I've said that right. And this is the one that they say is an rFactor 1 conversion, so the model might not be as detailed as it possibly should. They have put in the changelog that the cambers by default are a bit screwy, and they recommend between -2.5 and -3 at the front, and -2 and -2.5 at the rear. So I've gone somewhere in the middle at -2.7 at the front and -2.2 at the rear, just so that it probably handles as it is more intended to. Let's go and do a few laps. This is actually the third time I've recorded this, because my game keeps minimising for some reason. I'm not sure why. So if you notice that there's more real road, that's why, when compared to the SLS. But it also allows me to tell you what I've already identified about this. I spent less time in the SLS because I have driven that before a lot. So, and there is a video on that on the Pitlanes channel if you wanted to go and find it. But basically with this car, I think, going by how the changelog is worded, both this and the Corvette are sort of beta releases, which is fine. So I'm not going to slate them too hard. I mean, one thing people need to remember is that these things are free, and that's why, even as a conversion, while I don't agree with particularly converting rFactor 1 stuff over, it's free, and I respect the time put in to even get them to this stage, just to convert them. I understand how long it takes to model a vehicle in 3D and things like that, because I've done it, so I get it. People have lives and stuff. So anything I say, take with a pinch of salt. This isn't an iRacing piece of content that's costing you $12 or whatever, you know. This is people giving up the time and making something for your enjoyment for free. So yeah, with that said, I think the sounds are alright. They're not bad at all. But for me, there's something amiss with the force feedback. It could just be me, but the difference between the SLS and this Porsche in terms of feel is quite immense. There's a lot more feedback in the Mercedes. It feels somewhat vague in this Porsche, and I'm not really sure why. I can only assume it's car related and part of the modding process, because while I've built cars in 3D, I've never done it for modding purposes, so I don't know what goes into the physics and things, but I'm guessing it's a car issue and not a sim thing. But I suppose there's an important question.
That was a 128.6.
When my spot stops talking, there's an important question. Would I race this? I think, compared to this Porsche, there are more fulfilling options out there. But I'm talking about a payware there. So, freeware, yes. I would race this, but would I race this against its own competition, the Mercedes? I don't think so. But again, like I said, I'm a bit of a fanboy for Mercedes, so take that with a pinch of salt. But I think a little bit of force feedback work, and this would be a really nice car to drive. Nice backfire noise there. Tyres feel nice and connected. It's doing roughly what I expect it to, understeering where I'm expecting it to and things, so seems like a lot of other Porsches or roofs that I've driven on this and other sims. It just seems a very neutral car, and that seems to be what Porsches excel at. It just, to me anyway, they seem very balanced for me. A little bit understeery there, but other than that...
That was a 127.91.
Do one more lap and then we'll move on to the Corvette. I'm just trying to give you guys a look at some content really, and if you don't know, sort of thing, if you're new to rFactor 2, then rFactor 2 as a sim will cost you money to buy as a one-off payment. And then if you buy just the base package, that gives you 1 year's online for free, and then every year after you have to pay $12 to get your online functionality. Now that's how it's kind of sold to people, but really what that $12 is actually helping to do is allow ISI, the creators of rFactor 2, to go out and sign more content and continue to work on content really. So like the Dallara DW12 and the Indianapolis that were just released, and then the stock cars that are coming with things. Basically that's what you're also paying for. You're paying for more content and things like that, but also there is a lifetime option where you just pay it all off in one go. So you never have to pay for online again, which is what I did myself. But yeah, okay, we'll go and take a look.
127.97.
Go and take a look at the Corvette. Okay, and here we are in the Corvette Z06. Again, an rFactor 1 conversion. But it looks alright to me. Hello, Mr. Helicopter. There are the sounds. So they've also said in the changelog that the sounds are a bit off, so we shall have a listen. I'll stay quiet for half a lap or something. Right, so I don't think the sounds are that bad. I could race it and it wouldn't annoy me, but that is it flywheel noise? Well, I don't even know what that noise is, but that whining, don't even know if that's the right word, is slightly over the top, I think, and the actual engine sounds sound really kind of muffled for whatever reason, while sounding a bit digital in themselves, but alright, you know, like I could live with them if this like whining was turned down a little bit. That seems OTT. But for a drive, this is second only to the Mercedes. Actually, it's comparable to the Mercedes for me in how it handles. For me, the Porsche is lacking somewhat in how it handles. Maybe it's intentional, I don't know, but the positiveness is back in the force feedback in this car for sure. It handles nicer. It's just what I like to feel through the wheel. It's not as vague. A little bit tail happy.
That was a 128.52.
The Porsche is probably the easiest drive out of the three, but I think it's also the dullest as it stands. I'm noticing something which I also noticed in the Porsche. Look out, you can tell here, look out the side window and look out the front window. What's that about? You've got to be able to see the difference in light there. It's much brighter out the side. It looks dull through the windscreen. Don't know what that's about. Maybe there's I don't know, is it alpha channel on the graphics? I don't know, on the paint even. Seems very dull out the front. I think as well people get hung up on the graphics of rFactor 2. I agree they look gamey, but honestly the graphics are really nice, I think. I think
that was a 129.
Oh, that's slow. Oh, shite. Need more front bias on brakes. Yeah, I think as well, a lot of people simply need to upgrade the computer. They've been sim racing on the same hardware for years, and now they can't run something and automatically it's the software's fault. Nope. Games move forward, guys. Yeah, that's my opinion on that. Upgrade your shit and you'll be fine. But yeah, I quite like this Corvette. There's another Corvette charges up behind me because I'm going woefully slow. Just finished the end of this lap. So for me, the Mercedes is nice. The Porsche's and the Corvette somewhere in the middle. But I mean, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I genuinely think it kind of let this Corvette past. I mean, the model looks alright there. To me, for whatever reason, I think it shows that the SLS was scratch built or whatever. Because for me, it is the best of the three. For whatever reason, I'm sure Apex Modding could enlighten us as to why, but it is the best car, the SLS. And I'm not sure I'd want to run a series with these three cars as they are currently, because there is a disparity in quality. But thank you, Apex, for your hard work and bringing us these, as it's much appreciated. I think the AI just got onto the grass there. And that's really what I want to say. I'm critiquing this as I critique anything else. I think it's fair to do. I have stated that this isn't a final release. Well, I don't think it is, given the version number. And oh crap. Yeah. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I shall see you soon. Cheers.